Alright, hello everybody, welcome to another video today. My name is Chris, and today we have an update on the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores, or Sears Roebuck and Kmart stores. So, about 2 weeks ago I made a video talking about the non-liquidating stores, and now, as of 2 weeks later, we are losing even more Sears and Kmart stores. So about 2 weeks ago we had approximately 60 combined full-line Sears and Kmart stores. But because of the recent closings that have been announced, we are now down to just over 50 remaining Sears and Kmart stores. So in the last 2 weeks, we lost one Kmart plus 6 additional Sears and Roebuck stores. So the following Kmart stores that are not liquidating as of Thursday, February 19th, 2021 are the Kmart store in Guam, the Kmart store in Costa Mesa, California, the Kmart store in Freedom, California, the Kmart store in Grass Valley, California, and the Kmart store in South Lake Tahoe, California. So approximately 4 non-liquidating Kmart stores in California, along with the Kmart store in Guam. So, like California, Florida also has 4 non-liquidating Kmart stores, which include the Kmart store in Key Largo, Florida, the Kmart store in Key West, Florida, and the Kmart store in Marathon, Florida, and the Kmart store in Miami, Florida. So again, 4 non-liquidating Kmart stores in California and 4 non-liquidating four non-liquidating Kmart stores in California and 4 non-liquidating Kmart stores in Florida. In Michigan, it's only 1 Kmart store. It's the Kmart store in Marshall, Michigan. In Montana, there's only 1 Kmart store left in Montana. No Sears and Roebuck stores at all. It's the Kmart store the Kmart store in Hamilton, Montana, which is actually a very interesting Kmart store. If you want to go on Google Maps, you can have fun looking it up. In my home state of New Jersey, there's only 2 Kmarts left. The Kmart store in Avenel, New Jersey, which is located in Middlesex County, New Jersey, just north of the Woodbridge Center Mall, and the Kmart store in Westwood, New Jersey, which is the last Kmart store in Bergen County, New Jersey. In the state of New York, there are approximately 5 non-liquidating Kmart stores, which includes the Kmart store in Bridgehampton, New York, the Kmart store in the Bronx, which is the two-story one in the Bronx, and the Kmart store near the mall at the Bay Plaza, which is also located in the Bronx. The Kmart store in New York City, which is in the Soho neighborhood of Manhattan, and the Kmart store in White Plains, New York, which used to be a Caldor back in the day, and it's just a couple miles north of the former Sears and Roebuck store in White Plains, New York. The Kmart store in Hato Rey, Puerto Rico is the last Kmart store in Puerto Rico. And finally, there are 4 Kmarts that are in 4 Kmarts that are in United States territories, which includes 2 Kmart stores in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, and also St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. So it's approximately 2 Kmart stores being in St. Croix, Virgin Islands, and then the other 2 Kmart stores being on the St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. So you get you put all those Kmarts together, and there are approximately 23 Kmart stores that are not currently liquidating. So we shift our focus now to the Sears and Roebuck stores that are not liquidating. It's not that there's not too many left, actually. So there is a couple, but not too many. So the Sears and Roebuck store in Frederick, Maryland, which is the last Sears and Roebuck store in the state of Maryland. In California, there are approximately 8 non-liquidating Sears and Roebuck stores, which actually does include a Sears Grand store. The Sears and Roebuck store in Burbank, California, the Sears and Roebuck store in Concord, California, the Sears and Roebuck store in Downey, California, the Sears and Roebuck store in Pasadena, California, the Sears Grand Rancho Cucamonga, California, which is the last Sears Grand in the United States of America. The Sears Grand in Colorado is now sadly liquidating. The Sears and Roebuck store in Stockton, California, the Sears and Roebuck store and the Sears and Roebuck store in Whittier, California. So approximately 8 non-liquidating Sears and Roebuck stores. So in the state of Florida, it is 4. the Sears and Roebuck store in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the Sears and Roebuck store in Orlando, Florida, at the Florida Mall, and the Sears and Roebuck store in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, along with the Sears and Roebuck store in Miami, Florida as well. There is only one Sears and Roebuck store left in the state of Hawaii, which is Kalahuhui, Hawaii. And in Sears' home state of Illinois, there is only one Sears and Roebuck store left along with Hawaii, and that's located at the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, which actually just recently lost a Lord & Taylor store. Sears and Roebuck store at Braintree, Massachusetts, that's at the South Shore Plaza, which is owned by Simon Property Group. That's the last Sears and Roebuck store in the state of Massachusetts. The Sears and Roebuck store in Westland, Michigan, which is the last Sears and Roebuck store in the state of Michigan. And in my home state of New Jersey, the Sears and Roebuck store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey, is the last Sears and Roebuck store within the state of New Jersey. In New York, there are only 3 Sears and Roebuck stores left, which includes the freestanding store in Brooklyn, New York, the Sears and Roebuck store in Brooklyn, New York, which has Sears, Roebuck & Co., just like the Hackensack location did at one point, but that is now closed. The Sears and Roebuck store in Massapequa, New York, which is at Sunrise Mall NY. And finally, the Sears and Roebuck store in Newburgh, New York, at the dying Newburgh Mall. In North Carolina, there are only 2 Sears and Roebuck stores left, which is the Sears and Roebuck store in Greensboro, North Carolina, and the Sears and Roebuck store in Raleigh, North Carolina. In the state of Pennsylvania, there are only 3 Sears and Roebuck stores left, which includes the Sears and Roebuck store at the Colonial Park Mall in Colonial Park, Pennsylvania. That's a Sears and Roebuck store, by the way. The Sears and Roebuck store in Media, Pennsylvania, and the Sears and Roebuck store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. In Puerto Rico, there is only 1 Sears and Roebuck store left in San Juan, Puerto Rico. That's the last Sears and Roebuck store in the territory of Puerto Rico. In Texas, there is only 1 Sears and Roebuck store remains in Texas, which is the Sears and Roebuck store in El Paso, Texas. In the state of Washington, there is only 2 and finally in the state of Washington, there's only 2 Sears and Roebuck stores left, which includes Tukwila, Washington, and the Sears and Roebuck store in Union Gap, Washington. So all those stores together, you get approximately 52. That's down from the 60 that I did a video on about 2 weeks ago. So it is not looking very good for Sears, and we'll quickly go over like some of the areas on the map. So this is the United States territory of Guam, which is actually very close to like Japan and South Korea. This is the only Kmart like that, the most western Kmart left. So, and then obviously you go a little east to Hawaii. This is the only Sears left in the entire region of Hawaii. Because 2 of them are currently in liquidation sales, and this is the only one that's not liquidating. So on the west coast of California, there's still a handful left in the Sacramento, San Francisco area. There's a couple. Los Angeles still has a whole bunch of them scattered across, but there's not too many left. Texas, this is the only Sears and Roebuck store left in the state. We go a little north to Washington State, and it's only 2 Sears and Roebuck stores, with one being just outside of the greater Seattle area and one being in a little bit more in the country, of course. In Montana, it's just this single Kmart, and this is a pretty unique Kmart as well. It's in Hamilton, Montana. It's a pretty cool Kmart. If anyone's in Montana, definitely visit that store. It's a pretty cool store. As we move across the United States, there's really not any more Sears and Roebuck or Kmart stores east of that. The next closest one is the Sears and Roebuck store at the Woodfield Mall in Schaumburg, Illinois, which is actually just outside of the great city of Chicago. We move on to Michigan. We hit the Kmart in Marshall, Michigan, which is the last Kmart in Michigan, and the Sears and Roebuck store, which is in Westland, Michigan, which is actually just a couple of miles east of the city of Detroit and Windsor, Windsor is in Canada, by the way. So we move along a little bit. We're going to actually go here first, and then we're going to hit north. So Like I said, these are the last 4 Kmarts in the state of Florida. A lot of them are along Key West because Walmarts or Targets have not reached this market yet, but I'm sure these stores will be meeting their end very soon. These are the remaining Sears and Roebuck stores in Florida. It's pretty much just the ones between West Palm Beach, Miami, and in Fort Lauderdale, and the one in Orlando, obviously. And then we move along here to the United States territories. This is the last Sears in the territory of Puerto Rico, and these are the 2 Kmart stores on the Virgin Islands. These are the 2 on the St. Thomas Virgin Islands, and then we move along here. These are the only 2 Kmarts left on the what is this? This is Saint something. I gotta go back. Oh, Saint Croix. The Saint Croix Island. That's with an X. By the way, the X is silent. Apparently, some of these island ones are top performers, but that's just only because there's no Walmart stores there, or Targets rather. These are the last 2 Sears and Roebuck stores in the state of North Carolina. None outside of Charlotte. One in the greater Greensboro area, and one actually outside of the capital of Raleigh, North Carolina. The Louisiana one in Baton Rouge is closing, by the way. There's only one Sears and Roebuck store left in Maryland, which is in Frederick, Maryland, which is pretty far away from Baltimore and Washington, D.C. In Harrisburg, there's one Sears and Roebuck store left, which is at the Harrisburg Mall. There is another Sears and Roebuck store in Media, Pennsylvania, which I believe is not a shopping mall anymore. I believe that has been since knocked down, but that Sears and Roebuck store still remains to this day, which is very surprising. And the Sears and Roebuck store at the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania, which I think is the last Sears and Roebuck store to be connected to a mall that has a Bloomingdale's, although I could totally be wrong. We move along, we move up the Northeast. The next non-liquidating store is the Kmart store in Avenel, New Jersey, which, like I've said before, is just north of the Woodbridge Center Mall. And then we go up a little bit. We then next hit the Sears and Roebuck store at the Newport Center Mall in Jersey City, New Jersey. This is the last Sears and Roebuck store in the state of New Jersey. Then next up, we have the Kmart in Manhattan, which is in Lower Manhattan, in the Soho neighborhood, or Soho rather. Then we hit the Kmart store in Westwood, New Jersey, which is the last Kmart store in Bergen County, New Jersey. We then hit the Kmart store in White Plains, which is just a little bit northwest of the Galleria at White Plains. The 2 Kmart stores in the Bronx, with one of them being near the Mall at Bay Plaza. The Kmart store also in the Bronx, which is also 2 levels as well. Then we hit the Sears and Roebuck store in Brooklyn, which is that really historical building, just like the downtown Hackensack location was. Then we go a little east, and then we hit the Sears and Roebuck store, which is this is the last one on Long Island at the Sunrise Mall in Massapequa, New York, formerly known as Westfield Sunrise. We go a little bit more east on Long Island, and then we hit the Kmart store in Bridgehampton. This is the last Kmart store on Long Island and in Suffolk County, but Long Island as a whole. We go a little bit more north, and finally we hit our last, there's 2 more. The Sears and Roebuck store in Newburgh, New York, which is the last Sears and Roebuck store in the Hudson Valley region of New York State, and the last one in upstate New York. There's not another one after Newburgh. And then the last Sears and Roebuck store is the Sears and Roebuck store at the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Massachusetts, which is the last Sears and Roebuck store in the state of Massachusetts. Boston no longer has any non-liquidating Kmart stores. So that is a comprehensive view of all of the the non-liquidating Sears and Roebuck and Kmart stores. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was quick, but I wanted to make sure to go through every single location that is left operating, that is not in Australia and that is not in Mexico, that is owned by Transform Co. LLC. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Again, please make sure to check the link located in the description below for the map on the non-liquidating Sears and Kmart stores. And if you can definitely search up these locations if you're interested in doing that as well. So, anyways, guys, thank you again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed this video, and that will be it.